Well, I find it interesting that you effectively wrote your entire declaration that he was asking for under just in signing it under penalty of perjury in that one tweet. It would have probably been quicker, frankly, to have someone type up a declaration that you just get notarized in front of a notary public and sign exactly what you said in your tweet under oath, and there shouldn't be an issue. So, if you're willing to state that publicly to the world, I don't know why you wouldn't be willing to state that under penalty of perjury unless there's some sort of inconsistency between the two statements.
Yeah, great point, because he's trying to avoid the subpoena and appearing before that committee. So again, I didn't think of that. That's why you're the lawyer, I'm not. That if you're getting on social media and you're going, we had nothing to do with this, we're not involved, then why are you fighting the subpoena? Why won't you show up to DC and answer the committee's questions? And what about the daughter? Is she going to be subpoenaed? Are we going to hear from her? Because you want us to believe that I have a daughter, that a daughter isn't talking to daddy about one of the biggest cases in history and probably the biggest case that man's ever been the judge over. Please, they're family, and they're both Democrats.
I don't see Don Jr. complaining when he gets subpoenaed. I don't see on the other side of it Hunter Biden showing up to court when he's or to Congress when he's subpoenaed. But I do see Steve Bannon in prison when he doesn't show up and obeys a subpoena. So I'd like to understand the consistency as to how the weight of a subpoena and the compliance obligations are enforced, because typically, if it's a subpoena ducis tecum, which is just Latin language for either present yourself or certify that it doesn't exist or produce the documents or tangible thing, if you produce a document such as an affidavit or a declaration signed under oath and penalty of perjury that states verbatim what was in that one tweet you just had on the screen, she doesn't even have to go to DC. I understand that traveling might be a little bit of a burden, but if you have nothing to present before the committee, signing that document should be just as sufficient as testifying before Congress. So I'd like to see the consistency there. And it's interesting to point out how they're complaining about the weaponization of the political system when in this instance, it's a very legitimate inquiry, I think. And
No kidding.
if anyone wants to complain about political weaponization of the courts and the justice system, I think it's the other individual that's involved in this case, and it's not the judge, it's the defendant in that action.
Yeah, no kidding. President Donald J. Trump.
And the American people can see exactly what's happening and they can understand it for what it is at face value. So the legacy that's left behind is within his own hands and his discretion. So the sentence he chooses to hand down is something that he's going to have to live with the rest of his life, and it's going to be either a stain or a very fair mark on history, depending on which way he goes with that.